most of the sprint races being a 7-lapper, very important to start the day on a good footing and get yourself out there, and for the Afrox BMWs to convert those great qualifiers on the front row into points and get out there. The good thing is the rolling start really plays into the hands of the BMW boys, and they're controlling it through the first turn.
There's no doubt about that. We've seen that in the past. The BMWs really do need that to get underway. Always going to be under pressure from the all-wheel drive. We're on board right now. Gary Fumato, Class T. Boy, was he setting some blistering pace as well, Matt.
And was he good off the start? He was right up on the back wheel of the slowest Class A qualifier, that was John Mayer, got through in turn number 1 and started putting a bit of a gap between himself and the rest of the Class Ts. Henny Groenewald, not the best qualifier we've seen out of him, and look at the literal wall that he has to drive through. Just a little tap on Stephen to get himself through there, but he still couldn't find the hole.
Actually, because he was turning left, that worked out really nicely for him as well, because if he'd been turning into that corner, he would have been in trouble and probably flipped the back end. Adam Malmesbury, the 3-point apex turn. We're on board right now. Melville Priest and the other Audi also showing signs and leaving over from what he was doing in Killarney. This looks good and bodes well for Priest this weekend.
It does. He set himself up very well with a great qualifier and a good start. In fact, it looks like he got a little bit outbraked by himself there, trying to go around the outside of Van der Linde. Van der Linde isn't getting on terms with the car and on the tyres as quick as his teammate, and it's Ferrari just extending off the front and is starting to stretch out behind.
One of the big worries for everybody in the field, including early in Class A, was the fact that how well the BMWs were going. 236 down the back straight. I mean, how can you catch that? They were almost 800s faster than anybody else.
Yeah, I think coming out of the second sector of the track, and we're heading there now, turns 1 and 2, and then you start setting up the technical part of the track, and that's where the all-wheel drive system can start kicking in. We go back into the Class Ts. Gavin Cronje, not a great qualifier, and in fact he's been sent back 1 spot as Robertson comes through.
On board with Gavin Cronje in the John Cooper Works Midi right now, and missing his partner who had oil pump problems, and it just seized the engine. He's going to have to fly this flag alone this weekend.
Yeah, we know the Minis are down on power. The Coastal Air will help a little bit, but being down on ponies certainly doesn't. Yeah, Joubert has got some big problems. He actually came together with his teammate in the first turn, so he's got a little bit of body rub, and we hope that thing's going to hold together. Back at the front of the Class A's, and Bonafide is desperate to get through. You can see he's carrying a lot of pace there, and that was from getting the 2-car tow down the back straight.
We saw reminiscence of the talent from Bonafide at Killarney, finished really, really strong. And, you know, that car's gone through all its niggles. In fact, the entire field have. They're always going to have problems, but Bonafide seems to be on the pace right now.
Able to qualify well also, and you can see the damage is just getting worse and worse on Joubert's car as he runs out there in 5th place. The top 3 are breaking away, though.
You can see the fact that there is evidence on Graham Nathan's car that Jack Joubert, as you quite rightly pointed out, has gone into the back of him. I wonder if there'll be a few
he's got some handling
words.
problems, Steve. He's got some handling problems because he way outbraked himself there. I'm talking about Jacques Joubert, just 2 cars up the road as Robertson was closing him down, but he had massive understeer in turn number 1.
Back to the front end of the leaders in Class A, and Van der Linde doing the business under pressure from 2 Audi S4 supercharged cars. It is Melville Priest and Gennaro Bonafide.
And, of course, we have to talk about the setup. Everything is about these sprint races before we go into the feature race to end out the day. And that's why there's tension out there. That's why everyone is so determined to get a good result and start the day off well. Look at the lead that Ferrari's got.
10 points is 10 points, you know, Matt.
It is. You just need them, and it's going to be so hard to catch them up later on in the year. Remember, this is round 2 of the Bridgestone production cars. We are concentrating on Class A right now, picking up on Class T, but this is the battle for 2nd place on the road.
Wow, look at this. Priest is humming at the moment. Humming. We go back to visuals on Class T. Nathan is still there. Patchy bodywork. The crews, Michael van Rooyen, starting to show some pace as well. And just in front of him at the moment is the man who has had some blistering pace, Gary Fumato. Of course, they're here. We're still with their older cars, and we're waiting for the debut of the new ones.
Yeah, we're desperate to see that new thing come out, but they're obviously not happy with the development of it just yet. The promise will be extended as we go into round number 3 at Port Elizabeth. But let's talk about Michael van Rooyen. He had some big engine problems at round number 1. They pretty much did a full rebuild as far as under the engine bay goes, and he has brought a package that can really run well at the big track.
Well, I always have to have a wry grin when we speak about Michael van Rooyen, because they are dogged with so much bad luck, and they have been for the last 3 seasons on the track.
Big moves happening a little bit further back here, and this is the war that is happening on track between 3 drivers and 3 manufacturers. Jacques Joubert having problems in the second of the Golfs, and then he is going up against the Megane and the Mini. We go back to the front, and it is definitely tight. Formato isn't breaking away, and there's a big move there. Nathan is getting huge drive coming into Malmesbury, and this is where he's trying to set up the cruise.
Yeah, Nathan's not finished with this, I can assure you, and we're on board with him right now. Michael van Rooyen just ahead in the windscreen, and it is that close. Believe you me, Formato, it's all about power down the back straight, but I'll tell you, that cruise is no slouch.
No, it is definitely flying really good on the anchors as well, and look at the line that Formato is using. Really wide and sweeping. That sets up a good drive onto the start-finish straight. So he is hanging on there. And I say hanging on because it looks like the other cars have the better and beating of him through the technical part outside of turn number 2. But down the straights, he is getting it fired down, and he doesn't give the guys enough chance to get up there and run with it.
Still on board with Michael van Rooyen at the moment. Car T29 in that Chevrolet Cruze, doing the business and leading Class T at the moment. All the focus on T.
Oh,
no!
Formato is gone. That was just pushed the front end a little bit too hard. He was carrying amazing pace into that turn the whole way through practice and qualifying that set up his good time, but it looks like he is fading and going off the back. That's something hugely mechanical. He is faded all the way to the back of T's.
Nice little dice here between Gavin Cronier and Devin Robinson, and lots of prospect with that car. They're continually on the development side of things, and will we see it finally break through as did Michael van Rooyen?
Yeah, I think time will tell, and there'll be a couple of tracks that will suit him a little bit better. Look at Nathan though, he is on the fly, still trying to get that wheel up the inside there in the cruise, suffering massive understeer. That opened up the hole, and you don't have to ask the big man twice, he has gone through. What has also happened is we see Nathan with clear...
Oh, he's coming back, he's coming back.
Oh, look at that thing. So he got crossed up, couldn't get the drive, but he did get the speed and got the drive and the hammer down the straights. So Nathan looked like he had the pass done, and he has to do it all over again. And that's Duminy coming.
Ah, look at that, a little nudge. Hello, I'm coming through next time, says Nathan. Michael van Rooyen is in control. Although Formato out, Sean Duminy will still pick up points for the team Ford.
He's doing very well and out of a poor qualifier as well. Formato just limping. I don't even know if he's going to stay out there for the duration of the short first sprint race. But out front, it is all about a new sign and a new symbol on the front of the car and a new rider and driver at the front of the pack. It's all about Van Rooyen trying to nab some points.
Was that a rumor, or did I see a Class A car on the other side of the track?
Yeah, I know, man. It's all over the place, and that's what's great about production cars, classes A and T, on the track at the same time. We are all over the circuit.
All right, so through engine, no damage right now to any other cars other than Nathan at the moment. Oh, front end of Class A. This is where the action is. 2 BMWs. There's Melville. He's hunting down.
Busiest man on track the entire race has been Etienne van der Linde. He has been relying on the performance and the setup on his BMW 335i to stay out front and control second place to stay ahead of Melville Priest. But Priest has kept in extremely honest. Bonafide was trying to get through on the first of the Audis and just hasn't been able to deliver. 4th place is where he's going to stay.
Not long to go right now in our first of our 3 races, and Van Rooyen, this will be an unbelievable achievement, and the supporters and friends and family and mechanics of this team will go absolutely bonkers if he wins this.
It is going to be a crazy one. It's lovely to see a new manufacturer delivering so early on in the season, and of course we're talking about more development happening with that car. This is still the battle for second place on the road. As you can see, our race leader just going through shot and probably just rolling out, saving a bit of engine, saving a bit of tyres for the rest of the day. But Melville Priest is running out of time. We're talking about one more corner to get himself up there into second place, and the legs just seem to be in the hands of the BMW today.
Again, it's down the back straight was where they're so dominant and powerful, and as much as Melville will reel them in around the corners because of the all-wheel drive down that back straight, and we spoke about it earlier on, they're so powerful. So here we come then. It's going to be a race win for the BMWs, Team Afrox and Pertic BMW.
Flag to flag for Fourie, converting that pole position into the first victory of the day in production cars Class A. His teammate backing him up with the 2 spot.
That's a Dalmatian of sorts, isn't it? I'm sure of it. Front end of Class 10, here it comes. Michael van Rooyen's going to hold on to this, and under pressure from Graham Nathan. Wow, what a result for the Team Cruise. And there in the background, 3rd place, great points. It's Sean Duminy. They're going to pick up some massive points here for Ford.
And a huge loss for Formato. He's got a lot of work to do as the day goes on. But this man and the Cape Town hero, Johan Fourie, looking to go out and dominate every single race today. Watch out for the Cruise.
All right, let's get confirmation of those results for race 1 in Class A. Johan Fourie, Etienne van der Linde, Melville Priest, and Gennaro Bonafide.
Kenny going down to 5th place. He's going to have to pull his socks up as the day goes on. Chop Sapuka, Pinard, John Mayer, and championship points leader Stephen finishing a lap down after having to come into the pits with a puncher.
Confirmation, Class T. Here come the top three. Michael van Rooyen, Graham Nathan and Sean Dumoulin in the Ford picking up points.